move on to our topic for today. So, our topic for today is what games do we want to have remakes or remasters of? So, this is not platform restricted again. So, any game from any platform that you want to see a remake or remaster of. And with that, this will also cue our most Tagalog based conversation now because we'll be talking about this in detail. Alright, so I guess I'll kick this off again too. So the number one title that I want to have a remake or remaster of would be the PlayStation 1's The Legend of Dragoon. So this one is an amazing RPG title. I really love it. The Legend of Dragoon, yes. It's divided into 4 CDs which is yung normal type ng paglaro before sa PS1 pag sobrang dami ng story at mahaba siya. So The
Wait,
Legend
bago
of
ko
Dragoon.
makalimutan.
Yeah.
Yan ba yung may parang pwede mo atakihin yung per part ng kalaban? Ito ba yun?
Yan. Saka,
Okay, ito yun.
yes.
Okay, tas yan yung kakaiba yung itsura ng costume niya.
Yeah. So,
to say the least, kakaiba yung itsura.
yes. So,
Okay.
ang pinakagusto dito, the one that I like the most about this is the combat. The combat is turn-based, but you have a mini game inside of combat where you have a rhythm type style. I think timing, kailangan mo ng timing sa ibang mga skills. So yung the skills are not just yung typical na select the skill and then yun na yung gagawin ng character mo. So kailangan mong susundan kang timing ng buttons para ma-execute ng character mo yung skills niya. So yun yung hirap nung yung timing will depend on of course the strength and the level ng skill. So pwede makaka-unlock ka ng mga different skills once na mapa-level up mo yung certain skill. So kailangan mo lang siyang ulit-ulitin gamitin. So every time na ma-perfect mo yung isang skill and then ma-master mo siya, may ma-unlock ka pang bagong skill. Pero ganun yung game style niya. So it's really hard to fight some bosses if you haven't perfected the timing of the skills that you want to use. So and then hindi lang siya basta kailangan mong i-timing yung skill kasi minsan parang nagpapari din yung kalaban. So sa mid combo pwede mag-change yung button na kailangan mong timingan. So it's not just straightforward na pagta-timing ng buttons na yun. And then random din yung pag-block nung kalaban. So hindi mo malalaman kung kailan sa combo mo papasok yung pagpari ng kalaban mo. And then interesting lang din talaga yung story niya for its time and you have transformations din and then also of course mahal na mahal ko mga dragons are really one of my most favorite mystical creatures. So your characters transform into dragoons, hence the title The Legend of Dragoon. So ayun, and then medyo parang Game of Thrones si feel din siya kasi may mga mamamatay na characters doon na mamahalin mo. So don't get too attached if you do want to play the game. Don't get too attached to any of the characters because most or some of them will meet their end and then papalitan sila ng iba pa. So para siyang RPG Power Rangers din kasi based on the color of the gem nung character mo, yun yung magiging dragon mo. So red, purple, whatever, yun yung mga kulay ng mga dragon. So Legend of Dragoon, yun, one of the titles that I really want to have a remake or remaster of. Sa PlayStation lang yata to. It was released way back in the 90s, I think. 1999. So 2000 siya na-release sa anyway, yun. So Legend of Dragoon is sa mga gusto kong magka-remake. Na-miss ko na yung laro niyan. So there you have it. Sige, punta tayo ngayon. Sige,
parang iba ata pala yung iniisip ko ngayon na Zen, sinasabi ko na may targeting o...
Pero meron din may targeting din.
Pero yun ata parang as in may part by part pwede mo i-target yung limbs. Iba ata yung iniisip ko na laro.
Yeah, pero meron din sa Legend of Dragoon na tatarget mo yung like paanong dragon, kamay ng dragon din. Pag may kalaban.
Pwede laro mo sa dorm natin dati.
Yun yung laro namin. Laro namin nung isa pa nating roommate.
Doon ko lang din nalaman yung laro na yan.
Yeah, yun. Yun yung lalaro namin parehas ng ating isa pang roommate.
Mas active yung combat tulad nga sinabi mo yung sa combos.
Yes, so, yung combos and skills. Anyway, sana tayo. God damn it, Matt. This video is sponsored by Globe Telecom.
Ayusin niyo po internet niyo.
Right, yan nga. So yeah, yan yung mga nilaro namin sa dorm nung isa pa nating roommate. So active pa.
So yung tulad nga na sinasabi ko kanina, ang pretty close compa, hindi actually pretty close. Ang closest na laro ko na may ganong system ay yung FF8, yung kay ano lang, kay ang pangalan ng main character niya.
Si Squall.
Yung ano niya pa nagre-Renzoku-ken lang siya. Yun lang yung closest na may active. Just hindi naman nakaka-apekto yung kalaban tulad nung dyan na mag-iiba yung button inputs and stuff.
Yeah, so kaya very unique yung combat system ng Legend of Dragoon. And then 4 parts siya. So alam mo yun, pag nasira yung sa mong CD, goodbye. Hindi mo na matutuloy yung story ng laro.
Basically gano'n naman dati mga RPG.
Yeah, ganun siya dati.
So nandun din yung sa akin eh. 4 CDs din to.
4 CDs. Okay, because of that, I will pass on the mic over to Kuya Boy. So
mukhang rampant ang RPG sa atin talaga.
Syempre, of course.
So,
Golden Age.
Ito mas friendly naman sa bata to. Siguro kaya mas nagustuhan ko rin. Para sa isang noob na walang kaalam-alam dati naman.
Button masher.
At ang best sa series na to, sa franchise na to, Fight Me, FF9.
Marami kang makakaaway dito.
FF9, best FF, hands down, Fight Me.
Sapakan. Si Jebol yata. Jebol, mainstream ka ba? Cloud Boy ka ba?
Ano ba ang mga
Cloud Boy okay.
Cloud Boy ka.
Kasi si Final Heaven alam ko Cloud Boy, so malamang inaway ka na niya ko nandito.
Either Cloud Boy or FF13 si Boy.
Nga pala, Final Heaven. Lightning waifu rin nga pala si Final Heaven.
13 sucks. 13 sucks.
Cloud Boy.
Paulan niya na ng dislike ng video.
Hindi ko na pwedeng sabihan na gusto ko na remake
yung akin. Hindi pa ako Cloud Boy. Barret number 1 boy.
Sino yun? 2? Ito ba yun? Si Barret?
Yung yung kasama ni
FF7 din eh. FF7
ay, 7 din. Yung mainstream boy ka pa din.
Okay.
Wala. Ako FF4 ako eh. So ang dami ng remake. So never mind that.
alam niyo kung sino yung kakampi ko na nagsasabing FF9 ang the best FF.
Sino?
I think director din ata ng
What?
best FF. Kung pati yung creator na
FF7 mainstream
FF9.
boys cry. Nakita ko na yung raining dislikes. Nakita ko na yung raining dislikes. Alright. FF9.
Okay, so actually, yun nga, so medyo simplified ang system ng FF9. So walang job change. I think nagsimula sa FF7 yun, yung wala ng job change. O FF6, di ako sure. Paki-correct na lang ako.
6, tanda ko pa wala yata ang job change ng 6. Yeah, kay si ano yun eh, si waifu din.
Si Terra nga ba yun?
Terra, yeah, si waifu Terra.
Hindi ko maalala kung kailan nawala yung job change system. So ito kasi basically return to roots nila. So kung pansin niyo naman si Vivi, Black Mage.
Yeah, Vivi boy.
Obvious. Best boy,
Vivi. Black Mage.
So, hindi ako sure kung anong gusto kong klaseng remake ang mangyari sa kanya. Kung gusto ko bang i-overhaul niya yung system tulad ng FF7 remake ngayon. Or i-retain nila yung classic turn-based. Torn ako kasi mas nostalgic ako sa turn-based. Pero parang outdated na siya kung tutuusin.
In this day and age.
In this time, oo. Lalo na meron kasing system dati kapag yung not sure kung di sila kailangan naka-trans. Kapag may combination si Vivi tsaka si Steiner. So, bibigyan niya ng black magic yung espada niya. So, I think mag-work well ang action RPG na style doon.
Actually,
mas magiging free-flowing. Ayun, so very 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 simple game kung tutusin compared sa other FFs, I would assume.
We haven't had any FF9 remake ever pa? Wala pa? On any platform?
Nagka-remaster. Well,
remaster.
HD remaster. Okay. So, nagkaroon ako ng hope na baka lang. Papansin. At parang, hindi ko alam kung kailan nagka-news yun. Parang yung mga dating devs din no sa FF9 parang hindi pa rin nawawala sa isip nila yun na kung bibigyan ng pagkakataon natin gusto nilang ituloy or I'm not sure kung ibig sabihin ba ng remake.
New remake, yeah. Well, pwede. Hindi ko pa nalaro yan, no? Laruin ko nga din para ma-feel ko din yung ano. Ang mga nilalaro ko pa lang is FF1 and 2, which is walang characters, though andun si Warrior of Light, so yun na lang yung ginawa nilang FF1 mainstay na character. And then, of course, favorite ko FF4, and then FF6, and then, ano yung bago FF7 sa PSP? Advent of
Crisis
ano ba?
Core?
Ayun, Crisis Core pala yan. Yun lang nalaro ko. Hindi ko nalaro yung FF7, so hindi rin ako mainstream boy. Wala akong feelings for mainstream
FF4
boy.
ay si Cecil,
whatever.
whatever.
Na sobrang dami ng remakes. So, hindi na ako hihingi kasi meron na siya sa Game Boy, meron na siya sa DS.
FF3 nagka-remake din, 'di ba? Ang alam ko
Onion
yung
Knight.
si Rookie nga ba 'yun? Onion Knight dati,
Onion Knight,
di ba? Na-separate sila sa tatlong actual characters na.
Meron na rin yan. So, meron na rin sa
Yun
mobile
nga.
na FF14, meron na rin sa PSP. So, okay na ako doon. Tama na. Okay na, remake ko na FF14. FF4. And hindi pa.
Yung modern FF sa nalaro ko, ewan ko kung okay ba yun, na modern FFs lang yung nalaro ko. So 7, 8, 9, 10 ang mga nalaro ko.
Modern.
Plus Crisis Core.
Okay. 15, medyo nasa start ko na, pero alam mo yun. Backlog. Forever backlog.
Lahat akong kopya ng 15. Gusto ko bumili, hintayin ko siguro mag-sale.
Meron naman na sa PC. So, kung gusto mo masunog PC mo, yan. Pwede mo na. 150 gig yata yung space din yan.
Mas malaki pa rin ang Warzone. Yun ang naaalaan nila. Mas malaki ang Warzone.
Warzone because of an Alright, so FF9 for Kwepoy. And okay, Jebol. Diyan ka ba? Earth to Jebol.
Yes, so...
Okay, ano ang yung remake?
Yung remake ko na hulaan mo na kanina eh. Dino Crisis.
Sabi na eh. Alright, Dino Crisis. Which one? Di ba may 1 at 2 yan? O parehas gusto mo ng remake? Parehas. Okay, sige, go ahead.
So, Dino Crisis basically Resident Evil but with dinosaurs. Also made by Capcom, so...
Yeah.
Na-enjoy ko yung Resident Evil 2. And yung bagong RE engine. Sobrang gandang engine niya. So, that with dinosaurs, natutuwa ako. Yung, I played RE3. Siya. Compared to the RE2 remake.
Okay. So, same
yeah.
yung yan, di ba? Same yung paglakad ng character sa Dino Crisis to sa mga lumang RE.
Oo, yes.
Same yung kanilang paglakad. So, jump scare ka ng dinosaur instead na zombie.
Maganda din yung mga niya eh, mga set piece. Mas nakakagulat kasi nung RE series. It was like, interesting enemies din yung mga dinosaurs.
Was Dino Crisis 2 our last one? Yun ba yung huli? Na nagkaroon tayo na? Yun kasi yung naalala ko na laro ko ng onte eh.
Alam ko may other Dino Crisis 3. There is a Dino Crisis 3. Pero
meron ba 3?
Pangit siya kasi alam mo bakit, Zen?
Bakit? Bakit siya pangit?
It's in a space station.
Paano nagkaroon ng dinosaur? Anong platform doon? Anong platform yun?
Xbox. Ano na siya? Parang mutation. Parang RE. Alam mo yung mga...
Arc na nga talaga to.
Alam mo yung mga mutations na over the top sa RE? Ganun na yung mga dinosaurs sa Dino Crisis 3.
Sumobra
yung
na.
2 medyo grounded pa eh. Kasi
may ko-comment yata si Kwepo, nakita kong bumibuelo kanina eh. Ano yung bumibuelo natin
Dito ba nag-take inspiration ng Infinite Warfare? Napunta rin sa space na wali na grounded reality.
Out of nowhere.
Nawala din. Out of nowhere, outer space.
Wala na tayong setting sa Earth, salpak sa outer space.
Sa outer space. Kailan na-release yung 3? Yung Dino Crisis 3?
Let me check. 2003.
Xbox eh. So
2000.
Original Xbox pala talaga yan. Yung pinaka
3 years. 2000 yung 2. Actually, yung 2 yung mas gusto
Utaw?
ko.
Utaw? Saan baka mo?
2000, yung 2 nga, yung 2 yung nalaro ko na konti. So, yun yung kaya alam kong parang it's like RE, yung style ng kanyang paglalakad. Yung yeah. So, sabi na I knew it! Dino Crisis for Jebol. I knew it!
Yes.
Knew it!
Easy na yun eh.
Oh, easy predicts
May
easy predicts.
Nung sa last na natin,
Oh,
sa
last
top 5
podcast
natin
din.
obvious na eh.
Alam mo
Ano kasi,
number 1
yung ending ng 2 ang cliffhanger.
Ay, hindi pa nila tinutuloy. Or
Hindi pa nila
tumuloy yun sa 3. Hindi direct
3,
sequel yung 3.
ibang hindi direct yung
So iniwan talaga nila.
Akala mo lang hindi direct sequel.
Meron pa lang
Infinite Warfare.
yun na yun.
Yun na pala yun. Wala lang connecting story ng ending ng
So,
yeah,
Capcom, please, with the new RE engine. Dino Crisis.
Dino Crisis. I think marami din, yeah. There are a lot of fans of Dino Crisis that may want to have a remake of that. So, baka may hope. We have hope. Okay, Long Panda, give me a game you want to have a remake of.
Okay, the game I want to remake of actually celebrated its 25th anniversary of release this year, and it's Chrono Trigger.
Oh.
Yes.
So,
RPG.
I will admit
3 out of 4 RPGs. 3 out of 4.
Yeah, 3 out of 4.
4 out of 5 yan pag andito si Final Heaven.
Yeah, true. I will admit the main reason why I want to remake is because of the soundtrack. There's a lot of bangers on that soundtrack. And then you have the slow jazz pieces, yung Secrets of the Forest stuff. So that's the main reason why I want the remake, just for that soundtrack. But apart from that, I don't know. There's something really cool about old JRPG battle systems.
Yeah.
It plays like, I think it's very the gameplay. The battle system of Chrono Trigger is very similar to FF.
Something.
The FF games. The FF game. FF something. I'm sure there's a similarity. No? But then it's very similar, and then you have this whole crazy story about time travel because it's called.
Yeah, it is.
So I just looked it up on Wikipedia. It turns out we did get a PC release during 2018, but then it was terrible.
Yes.
So please remake this game. I really want to hear the new soundtrack, and I think it's.
Go. Sorry.
I think it's like probably one of the greatest JRPGs of all time.
Yeah. It has a good following. They have a mobile port, so if you want to play it on mobile, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then yes, Chrono Trigger is also on my list. So bang, yes. But I have forgotten Chrono Trigger because the last time I played that was back in 2005 or 4, I think. It was so long ago that I don't remember most of it, but I do remember enjoying it a lot. So it's also one of the titles I want to have a remake of.
Yeah, 25th anniv, best time to release a remake.
1995 pa siya. So come on. Malupit din yung following nito. So there's also a lot of fans hoping for a remake of this one. Alright, so reverse, meron ko pa bang gustong i-remake dyan, Long Panda? Ikaw ulit?
Habang nakasulat ko dito.
Semi-prepared lang po kami.
Same, semi-prepared lang po kami. I think the next thing that I want to remake of is also on your list. At least one of you. It's Suikoden 2.
God damn it, Long Panda. That's me. Raise a hand. Yes, that's also on my list.
Yun. Hindi ko po alam na Suikoden dati sa wala.
Si Kuepoy po, di pa nalalaro.
Pokemon with people.
Reminder. Yes.
I liked it for the same reasons I liked Chrono Trigger. So just a little bit of a disclaimer. I played these JRPGs really late because I never had a console when I was young. So I just played them on emulators. And Suikoden 2 is definitely a standout game for me. And also for the soundtrack.
Beautiful.
Banger soundtrack. A banger of a soundtrack. Then I just like to plug in Sinnoh remakes.
Yeah, yan din. Suikoden 2 is also on my list because, well, I've already mentioned it with my most anticipated title, my number 3 back in our first podcast, which was Yuden Chronicles, the spiritual successor. But I still want a remake of the original Suikoden 2. Come on, so beautiful. The story too. Their story is so gloom, betrayal, and all that. So
very
beautiful
depressing
story din, yeah. So that's 2 from my list na krinos out na nilong banda. So salamat. Trimming down my remix.
Ulitin ko lang po, RPG po ulit yun.
RPG Masters.
Dalawa count nun kasi pati ako gusto ko din nun. Alright, so Jebol, Cyberpunk Boy. Meron ka pa ba dyan?
Okay, so
remake?
Sino remake?
Yes, the Sino remake.
Pokemon Boy!
Let's go! That's also on my list. Yeah.
I actually wanted to be a full-on, as in, the dream of everyone, the Breath of the Wild levels of open world for a Pokemon game. Because they can do that now.
Well, they showed us that they can do that. They've showed us.
Yeah, they've showed us with the wild areas in Sword and Shield, but they need to step up their game with the quality Nintendo has been producing in the Switch.
One of the salty fans though.
I like Sword and Shield, pero they could have done more.
That's the general consensus. I think
they could have done more.
Better.
I liked it. I'm not as salty as the people saying no national text, boo.
Oh, yung mga ultimate hardcore.
Reused animations, boo. Reused animations.
Yung legendary lang no umikot-ikot lang.
Same old then.
It was a so-so game. It was a so-so game. But I want the Breath of the Wild level open world. For Sinnoh. May naisip ka na bang ipapangalan mo dun sa remake na yun? I don't know. Let them handle.
Meron ka ba naisip?
Pokemon Solid Platinum.
Wow.
And Shiny Pearl.
Di ba kasi before yung mga remakes for the Game Boy, yung green became green leaf. Di ba yung mga ganun?
Or they could just go full Pokemon Black and White and just name it Pokemon Diamond and Pearl 2.
Sequel na lang.
It's also on the table.
To be fair, for the first time, Nintendo isn't releasing a game this year.
Oh,
Game Freak.
Game Freak.
This year ba yung Mystery Dungeon or last year?
Last year? No, I mean, talking about the main Pokemon.
Main Pokemon game.
Yearly ba sila
Mystery Dungeon's also great.
Yes, they have been releasing yearly. Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
Oo nga, tama. Was a
2017
yata. 2018.
Even though they are spin-off, I still count them as one of the main games since, it has the same basic.
Yeah, if we could stop getting Kanto remakes, that would be great,
Even in Sword and Shield, the champion's main Pokemon is a Charizard.
Yeah,
Charizard 5 confirmed.
Charizard 5. No love for Bulbasaur.
Give other generations love. It's Gen 5 best gen.
Metallic Charizard next natin makukuha.
Boy.
Armored
Space
Charizard.
Charizard 0. Parang Bahamut na lang po.
Extreme Charizard, gano'n.
Basically, siya po yung Bahamut po ng Pokemon.
Or they could just go like full Mew and Mewtwo and get Charizard 2. And then it's like parang
pero siya, purple
synthesized
din siya.
Pokemon.
Purple and
synthesized sa lab.
With color of Mewtwo yung kulay niya, color scheme. Mukha siyang Frieza. Yeah. Alright, so Sinnoh remake for Jebol and Kuepoy, meron ka pa ba? Meron pa ba hindi nabanggit?
Well, semi-prepared lang naman tayo. So, ito, malamang sa inyo wala naglaro nito dati.
Tingnan natin. We might surprise.
Sige, brief bago ko sabihin. Naglaro ba kayong Tamagotchi dati?
Yes, of course. Baka,
Ikaw,
feeling ko alam ko na yan.
di ako
Alam ko na yan.
marunong
Alam ko na
alam
yan,
mo na,
Kuya Paul. Alam ko na yan.
alam mo na yan,
Oo.
alam mo
Oo.
na yan.
Farming
Alam
game
mong hindi,
yan. Farming game.
kaya
Tama ba ako?
nagtamagotchi ba kayo? Jebol,
Ako
saka
nagtamagotchi
Long
ako.
Panda.
Nope.
No.
Ah.
Wala akong Tamagotchi.
Hindi kayo nagganon, no?
Sige, ano ba yan? Ano
Di, so,
bang-
probably hindi kayo masyadong familiar dito. Si Zelestiv, most likely alam niyo to.
Oo,
Dahil nabanggit ko na.
feeling ko alam ko yan. Oo.
Monster Rancher 2.
Yeah, sabi na. Farming simulator for monsters.
Nalaro ko na yan.
Monster
nalaro ko na to.
Rancher.
Di ko
Monster
pa yun
Rancher.
nalalaro.
Yes, so basically Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchi for
Basically,
monsters. Pero,
So,
go.
sige.
I think, di ba nag-announce na sila ng remake niyan?
Port siya sa
port.
Android. Sa
Okay.
Japan nag-announce na sila noon.
Okay.
So
Anong
basically 8 HD remaster lang ata siya.
okay. Para lang mo
Tapos
naririnig
I'm assuming in overhaul nila yung way na pagkuha ng monster kasi previously kung para sa mga hindi nakakaalam,
tama. It's
ang way ng pagkuha ng or pag-generate ng monster dyan ay maglalagay ka ng CD. So sa PS1 may shrine doon, pupunta ka, then po-prompt ka na magpalit ng CD. Then kung ano yung ilagay mo CD, nakadepende kung ano ilalabas sa monster. So fixed 'yun kung ano man yung data ng CD na 'yun, kung ano
physical
i-generate
collection din siya.
So meron kami dating CD ng Mr. Domino, may unique siya na monster na specifically sa Mr. Domino na CD. So parang ganun, mayroong mga unique dati na CD na dun lang makukuha yung monster na 'yon. So kung wala kang Game Shark, wala kang way para makuha 'yan.
Yan ang unang panahong in-app purchase pero labas ang pagbili mo. First generation extra DLC.
Pero ang kinaganda nun, kahit anong CD pwede mong gamitin kasi. So pwedeng audio CD, pwedeng pwedeng movie, pwedeng kung ano man na CD mo na lying around dyan. Pwedeng game, pwedeng PS1 game.
Yeah, tama. They did release one for the Android and iOS, and then also I think they were making one for the Switch. They made one for the Switch last year, the first Monster Rancher, which was renamed into Monster Farm.
Monster Farm ang alam kong original Japanese name.
That's the original Japanese name.
Ang
Okay.
tanda ko, original Japanese name siya.
Napabaliktad ko siya. So
Monster Rancher nung nilocalize na ata.
Ayan, pero but that's not, correct. That's not a entire remake. It's more of a port HD remaster or something like that.
So ang isa mga naisip ko na pwede lang i-remake kasi linear yung battle system nila dati. So nasa 2D plane lang. Pwede siguro gawing 3D, then lagyan nila ng active elements tulad ng ikaw yung mag-judge ng dodging. Pwedeng ganun. Kasi nakadepende sa speed stat mo lang dati. So basically RNG kung mag-dodge siya.
I remember that.
Although ang problema lang doon sa ganung concept kasi ang point doon palalakasin mo siya ng mga stats niya. So mawawala na ng hindi ko alam kung paano nila i-apply ng speed na stat.
Mawawala na yung parang pag-farm mo pagpapalakas mo mismo mo.
Yung mga skills din kasi may accuracy na So paano nila i-implement kung active na yung style ng battle. So not sure kung paano nila i-remake siya, pero gusto kong makita kung magka-interest man since mukhang nare-renew yung at least yung interest, hindi man yung popularity, kahit yung interest man lang sa franchise.
I think there were a lot of people that were excited and were thankful for the 2019 port for the game. It was a huge news back then. So I think magkakaroon tayo may interest tayo for a remake of this.
Not really sure kung gaano kalaki ang audience na sa Japan. I would assume malaki kung the fact na tinuloy nila pati yung 2 pinort na rin nila. I think it
there is a following. So meron, and then ang dami na especially na bigyan ng notice yung ibang companies because of the FF7 remake. I think that brought us to an era of remakes ever since that title.
Monster Rancher remake kahit sa lifetime ko.
So balik din nila yung pero yung digital DLC na yung gagawin nila dito, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
DLC.
Digital. Yung mga monster na yan, digital DLC na yan.
Ano yan? Kung ano yung nasa Steam library mo, yung may sasalpak
gano'n.
mo yan.
Yan na, feeling ko yan na yung gagawin. Digital na eh. Dati kasi physical yung CD pag-insert mo eh. So, yes, right?
So yun ang sa akin.
Monster
Ulit.
Rancher. Expected
Wala,
din sa'yo.
ubos na ata ang aking ano yun.
Ang
So,
mga gusto mo, ano?
may isa pa ako nakahanda ako
sige,
sa sakali
sige.
man.
Meron pa naman ako din. Eto, I don't know if you've ever played this one. I know Jebol has because this was one of our barkada or our friends groups when we were young. A title that we really loved playing when we were just, nagsasama-sama lang kami sa mga tambayan namin. Which is the Game Boy. Wow, Game Boy port ng isang laro from the Zoid series. So this is Zoid's Legacy. So
Naging laro ang Zoids?
yes, Zoid's Legacy for the Game Boy. So that's actually Zoid Saga 2 in Japan. They named it Zoid's Legacy for their English port to the Game Boy. So ito isipin mo lang Pokemon pero Zoids. As in legit na ganun siya. So you encounter wild Zoids and then you can capture them and then modify their weapons and stats and all of that. Of course may story pa din, and then mash up yung universe nito. I think you will be time traveling to different parts of the Zoids universe nung na-release siya. So na-enjoy ko yon kasi meron siyang post-game. May para siyang post-game dungeon. So, pwede kang maglakad-lakad doon and then makakapag-encounter ka ng mga endgame Zoids na malalakas na pwede mo i-capture at gawing part ng party mo or yung mga weapons nila pwede mo ring damputin, ganyan. So, Zoids Legacy for the Game Boy, I really, really loved it. So, we will have a Zoids not remaster, a new Zoids game coming out for the Switch, but it's more of like a fighting style game, which is Zoid's Wild something. It's coming out this year, I think. So, pero I want to see a Zoid's Legacy remake, yung Pokemon style na ganun. So, I really enjoyed that. And yung barkada ko din, our group of friends really enjoyed that back in the day. Alam to ni Jebol. Kasi isa siya dun sa mga kabarkada ko na naglalaro lang kami, naghuhuli-huli kami ng Zoids. So, yes, Zoid's Legacy, Game Boy title. Woo! Meron pa ba sa inyo na may remake na gusto pang sabihin dyan? Bago tayong mag-come to
yung last alam
Jebol,
ko.
na gusto mo magka-remake. Go ahead, Jebol. What's that title?
It's the first Red Dead Redemption. It was released lang siya back in 2010 and
Well, it's a decade old. So, I mean,
it's a decade old.
pasok pa rin siya sa mga possible.
It's only limited to Xbox 360 and PS3. So it never released in the PC.
Sorry,
Well,
Master Race.
May RDR2 naman na daw sa PC.
no need for RDR1 if we have RDR2.
Big
brain plays.
Hey, you'll be surprised. RDR2 is the prequel for RDR1.
Yes. So tama lang, 'di ba?
Pwede
tama
rin.
lang.
Pwede
Wala
rin.
nila.
Tama lang. Yun yung remake.
Antay ka pa ng mga 20 years bago nila i-release yung RDR.
Virtual reality na yun.
Ikaw na yung
mismo magiging cowboy. Oh, yes.
Kaso yung kabayo sold separately.
May rig ka na kabayo.
Best horse. DLC siya na. Figurine. Yan. RDR.
Yeah. From yung story kasi ng RDR1 is very emotional rin. Maganda rin yung story ng RDR1. I dare say Red Dead Redemption has better stories than the GTA series.
May story ba ang GTA? Oops.
Whoops.
Paminsan.
Nung nilaro ko lang San Andreas, I just cheat and then destroy
All
everything.
you had to do was follow the damn train.
So I mean, yeah, meron naman story talaga GTA. Pero I mean, I think the real draw naman ng GTA is the carnage you can do freely without even following the story.
I will say RDR2 is sasabihin ko yung pinaka-favorite ko na video game story. Nothing else.
Wow.
Beaten whatever
Wow.
tested.
Wow.
Yun.
Big words.
Pero
Words.
umaasa ba ako this
What a
is
claim.
Rockstar? They haven't remastered anything at all. Well,
Wala.
except yung GTA 5 for some reason.
GTA 5 on
HD,
everything.
HD.
GTA 5 mobile. Parang Skyrim lang yun eh. Milk the hell out of this cow.
In previous from GTA to GTA 4 ay tama, mga 10 years yun. Pero from GTA 5 to
To
GTA
whatever.
5, 10 years.
10 years of pure remakes, remasters, and all of that. Ay, ano pala, pure ports and whatever.
Stop it with GTA 5.
Parang ano lang, Bethesda, please stop it with Skyrim 5. Baka din tapos Skyrim.
I have lost all my faith in Bethesda, to be honest.
Ano ba yung latest game na, di ba sila,
Fallout 76 gang.
Woo!
Wolfenstein is also their title, right?
Huh?
Wolfenstein is also Bethesda, right?
Yes, but it's not the Bethesda Game Studios. It's published by Bethesda, but not
publisher.
made by
Not created by their ano.
yung Bethesda Game Studios kasi sila yung gumawa ng Elder Scrolls and Fallout series.
So much hate for 76.
So, lumabas yung Fallout 76 and then in-announce nila yung Elder Scrolls 6.
6, yeah, whatever
Even though wala pa silang mapapakita.
Wala lang. Ano lang, grasslands and forests. That's Elder Scrolls 6.
Pero may other franchise daw sila, yung Starfield, which is set in space. Although,
Yeah.
Although teaser din yun, it's in the same whatever Elder Scrolls 6 is.
wala pang anything. Okay, Long Panda, meron ka pa bang gustong remaster or remake dyan?
I actually have 3 games, but then
Wow.
I'll group them as one.
Alright,
So it's Persona 1 and the 2 Persona 2 games. So
Persona
the reason
all
why I want
way.
the reason why I want to remake those games is that yung kilala ng mga tao, yung Persona 3, 4, and 5, right? Kaya may joke na yung Persona series only has 3 games. Right? So it's really sad then because like I think the moment they got to Persona 3, they just left the first 3 Persona games to the side.
Wala
and
na.
they left them to die. So wala na.
Bench
So
na sila.
I really want remakes of them.
Bench Sonas.
It's gonna be really interesting too kasi one of the games features Hitler as an antagonist.
Ooh, yeah, that's spicy.
It should be interesting kung paano na i-remake. But then I really want remakes of the first 3 Persona games.
Remake ba yung Persona 4 na lumabas sa PC? Was that a remake?
I think it's just a port. Port lang.
Port
It's
lang. Direct port.
Because there's Persona 4 and then there's Persona 4 Golden. So Atlus is also very good at milking their games.
Oo nga
So Persona 4 Golden is basically Persona 4 with some additional content. So it's not necessarily a sequel.
May buwela si Kuepo eh.
Well, baka may chance na mangyari yan. Given na parang, although malamang ports muna ang uunahin nila. Kasi may
malakas
parang,
yung following
hindi ako sure kung tama. Pero may binalita ata na sa ganda ng sales
ng 4
Persona 4.
Golden, yeah.
Kino-consider na ata ng Sega na mag-port pa ng ibang games. Atlus.
Okay, interesting. Spicy.
That's nice.
So,
That's nice.
Persona 5 PC.
Persona
5 PC.
Just put the whole series on.
Yeah, everything.
And
Splash it.
lahat
Para malaro ko
na.
na rin. Haven't tried.
Fest na hindi isa lang yung character na control mo.
Oh, true. Yung Marian Karen XD. Marian Karen na naman.
Basically yung kahit yung may cutscenes lang ng Fest at yung overworld ng Fest tapos yung PSP na may turn na lahat na control mo. Pwedeng yun, di ba? Please.
Actually, yeah, that too.
Ano pa lang is I've always wondered anong connection ng Shin Megami Tensei sa Persona? Are they separate series or
yun ang
shared
main
universe
game.
pa sila?
Yeah.
Shin Megami yung main game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Spin-off
of Persona.
Okay.
Yeah, but
then Persona.
Pero
speaking of Shin Megami Tensei SMT5.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Akala ko may 5 na dati. Tapos nakita ko, uy, bagong laro pala to.
It's a new title coming out.
Spicy.
Exclusive sa
Pero
Nintendo.
wala na yan sa scope natin na pag-uusapan ngayon.
Wala
Wala
pa.
na sa
So,
scope.
next time na yun.
Time.
Next
Wala
time.
the
next
other
time.
day.
Yeah. So, meron din ako. It's a very... I don't think any of you have encountered this title or even played it. It's an SNES title. Way back in 1991. 1992 yung release niya sa North America. It was also released on a whole bunch of other consoles and MS-DOS. MS-DOS of all platforms.
DOS?
Jurassic
MS-DOS.
Wait.
It was released on MS-DOS and also of
Ilang
course on
disket
Microsoft
kailangan mo
Windows.
dyan?
So I don't know if it's Gemfire. I don't know if narinig niyo tong larong to. So you can search it right now, guys.
No.
It's Gemfire.
Jetfire.
Empire.
It's a strategy title. So,
Wow.
pag sinerch
Holy
niyan,
Jesus.
mapapansin niyo yung sobrang dated yung graphics. It really is
Although,
very old. But
hindi
it's
naman siya
cool.
sobrang
Hindi
dated.
naman super.
Kamukha niya pa ang Zelda, pinakaunang Zelda.
Yes,
game
the
ata.
first Zelda. Because parang ka-age niya din yung time na nilabas yun, I think. So, it's basically para siyang, the closest I could compare it to is Crusader Kings. Na ganun siya. Pero super minimized because you only have one continent na mapa. It's really small. And then, yung stories niya, you choose scenarios on what scenarios basically ano itsura na nung landscape nung continent. Is it like yung pinakauna pa lang before the story continues na the empire has captured most of the lands, etc., etc. So it's a Game of Thrones-ish type yung theme niya kasi you have different houses na pipiliin mo na gusto mong gamitin as your playable house. And then the combat is meron kang your overview map of the continent. And then you also have your combat overview map, isa pang overview map ulit kung saan i-deploy mo yung mga units mo. And then once these units encounter each other, doon magkakaroon ka ng battle screen. So, doon lang. Pero yung battle screen is like an animation na naghahampasan yung dalawang sides. So, it's like a combat animation. So, it's a cool strategy game then. May managements din siya, and then of course you also have like apart from your main army, you have like a special unit na pwede mong i-recruit. Most of the houses have a parang house mage. So, special mage for that house. And then yung parang overarching villain of them all, which is like the Empire, they have a dragon. So parang yun yung kakalabanin mo. The mages versus dragons. May mga special units din, yung mga other minor houses, like pero hindi na siya like as powerful as yung mga mages or yung dragons nung ating mga main house. So yun. It's a very unique take din ng strategy and I really enjoyed it nung mga bata-bata pa ako nilaro siya. So that's Gemfire. It hasn't seen the main screen ever since nirelease siya nun. Hindi ko alam kung may following siya pero it's a nice game. I play it every now and then. Gemfire. So, yun. Meron pa ba tayong ibang mga remakes dyan na hindi pa nababanggit? Meron pa ako. Sige,
kung gusto niyo tuloy, meron pa ako.
Tuloy na natin. Sige lang.
Meron pa ako. Kala nyo, hindi ako prepared, pero may nadagdag ako ngayon lang.
On the spot.
On the spot, di ba? Sabi sa inyo, freestyle lang tayo.
Sige, go.
So, eto, nalaro ko din to ng bata ako. I'm not sure kung familiar kayo sa Disciple series.
What's that? No, I don't think so.
No, not familiar.
Okay, so Disciples 2 yung gusto kong ma-remake. RPG din siya.
Okay.
Pero ano siya ano ba? May ano siya Hindi ko ma-explain yung gameplay niya. Overworld siya, turn-based siya, turn-based.
Okay.
Na ginagalaw mo rin yung actual units mo sa mapa. Tapos pag may na-encounter ka, tsaka lang magbabattle. Tapos may building aspect din, may resource gathering aspect din.
So,
may nagko-control ka ng resources.
I think what's the closest one that has that kind of mechanic would be the Mountain Blade series.
Hindi ko kasi nalaro yung Mountain Blade.
Medyo ganun din yan. You have an overview map na may unit ka and then pag may na-encounter ka, magkakaroon ka ng combat. Ganun. So, medyo ganun siya. So,
yun kasi, yung mapa na yun, basically gusto mong palawakin yung territory mo para makontrol mo yung resources. So, pwede kang magawa para mag-recruit ka ng units, mapaggawa ka ng buildings. Then, yung upgrade ng units tied sa buildings. So, kunwari, meron kang binild na specifically, ganito yung magiging upgrade ng isang unit. Kunwari, gusto mong class niya ay maging AOE or kung paano man yun, kung ano mang effect nung class na mangyayari kapag ito yung binild mo. So, yun. So, nile-level up mo rin yung mga characters. So, ginagrind mo rin siya. And permadeath. Yes, it's permadeath. So, kapag namatay yung unit mong yun, recruit ko ulit, ile-level up mo ulit.
Oof.
So,
back to the
yes, oof, big oof.
Drawing
so,
board.
Kung na-wipe out yung team mo, na naglalagay ka ng resources, ng mga gamit, ng mga artifacts. Yes, may mga items pa siya. It's gone. May heroes din. So, usually, di ko maalala kung kailangan required ba na may hero do sa party para gumalaw. I think kailangan.
Oh, this is a cool
Pag namatay yun, bye-bye.
Okay, parang gusto ko i-try ito. Looks nice.
Disciples 2.
I think it's right up my interest and my alley.
Ano siya eh, pwede kayo pwede kayo maglaban. Same hot seat.
Multiplayer.
Hot seat ata yung term. I think hot seat yung term. Para sa same PC lang kayo. Turn-based lang naman kasi.
Okay. Yeah. So it's parang couch type.
Honesty system na lang. Huwag kang titigil sa play. Ganun na. It's very, very old style.
Developed by developed by strategy first. Okay. Na nagka-sequel siya. It had a sequel noong 2010.
Yes, yung 3. Yung 3.
Yeah, yung 3.
Iniba nila yung formula. Didn't really pan out.
Alright.
Mix to negative reviews siya.
So 2 is 1.
Inabangan ko yun. Inabangan ko yung sequel.
That 3, kasi parang tuwa ka dito.
Kaso hindi nag-pan out.
I might try this out when I have the time. I think I'll like it too. Wow, Disciples 2.
Dapat sabihin ko rin pati Mafia 1 kaso nagka-remake na bigla. So.
Meron na. So, alright, so Jebol, Long Panda, do you still have any remakes or remasters? So I have one last one if ever.
Meron pa ako. Kala nyo meron pa ako.
Wala na. Wala na. Okay, before we go back to Puepo, I also have one that I want to play. I want to have a remake of. It's another SNES title. It's Earthbound. I don't know if any of you know it. Alam niyo ba to?
Oh, shit.
Earthbound.
Nice.
Yes.
Yun ba yung mother?
Yes. Yan din yung may ano siya. Meron din siyang mother na it's like mother/Earthbound yung tawag sa kanya.
I think the official call din yung Japanese na name.
Yes, basta yun siya. So it's Earthbound or Mother or whatever. Yeah. So may rumor, there's been a rumor going on for the better half of 8 years now na magkakaroon daw siya ng remake or lalabas na daw ang remake niya, yada. Pero wala pa. Pero yan, it's one game that I want to play din. Naalala ko nung, bata pa ako nung nilaro ko to. So medyo banu-banu pa ako maglaro. Of course, I'm still a noob. So I remember that it's really hard starting out in this game. So, and then I think ang pinakamalapit na pwede mong sa kanya is yung parang RPG title na lumabas din ngayon na Pixel. I forgot. Under something.
Pixel.
Under RPG.
Hindi, RPG pala ng RPG.
It's like meron siya it really has the same it has the same look and feel as Earthbound. Search natin. Earthbound.
Undertale.
Yes, yun. Correct. Undertale. Undertale has the same feel as Earthbound. So, medyo ganyan din yung itsura. Medyo ganyan din yung gameplay. So, may parang world map ka, naglalakad-lakad yung character mo. And then, when you fight, it's like a first-person RPG turn-based view. So, hindi mo makikita yung characters mo na lumalaban, pero you will see your enemies right in front of you. So, and then, ayun, gagamit-gamit ka na ng mga weapons mo, skills mo, and all that. Ang nakakatuwa kasi dito, parang mga bata yung players mo. So, I think yung start is may nag-crash na meteor sa town mo, and then, so, in-investigate ng barkada ng main character yung I don't know if they're like teenagers, pero since yung itsura kasi nila sa Earthbound, dun sa graphics, talagang maliliit sila. So, I view them as children din nung time na.
Si Ness ba to? Si Ness?
SNES siya, SNES. Yes.
Si Ness.
SNES?
Ness.
I don't know. Wait lang.
Yun, si Ness nga, nasa Smash Bros din siya.
Si Ness,
so, bata siya, yes. Alam ko bata siya.
Okay, correct. So,
bata yung portrayal din.
Si Ness nga siya. Yes, it is Ness. Ayun pala.
Si Ness sa SNES.
Yeah, so Earthbound, ayun. I want to see a remake of that too. Hopefully, I do a better job of playing it now because I'm not such a noob as I was before. Kasi naalala ko noon, nag-rage quit ako kasi hindi ako makalagpas sa, I think, pangalawang laban after nung start ng laro. So, like, it took me a few tries.
Sir.
Bago ako naka-advance to, like, the part of the story nun. Sinipag na uli ako.
May nadagdag na naman ako.
Yan, sige,
tuloy-tuloy lang ang laban.
Okay, Kuya Poy, I think this is all you. That's the last kasi kinuha na ni Long Panda yung dalawa ko kanina.
Dalawa na lang. Last na talaga to.
Go ahead.
Nadagdag na lang ulit. Di ko malamang familiar kayo dito. It's Soul River. Legacy of Kain.
I'm familiar with that.
So, nalaro ko lang ata to dati nung bata ako para nakipag-trade lang ako sa isang kakilala. Wala akong idea ko ano yung kinuha ko. I think tinrade ko nun NBA na ibala.
Yes.
So, I think nasa similar style siya ng God of War.
God of War, yes. Yun ang feeling.
So, medyo brutal siya para sa para sa time niya. Medyo vivid na yung core niya para sa ganung time. And medyo maganda yung depth ng gameplay niya para sa PS1 game. At I think may puzzle aspects ata din siya kung tama-tanda ako. Di ko siya natapos. Di rin ata ako nakalayo doon kasi puta ata din ako maglaro. May na-stuck din ata ako na part doon. Pero gusto kong ma-remake siya para ma-experience ko siya ulit.
Now that you're no longer a noob.
At kasi natigil yung series.
Yeah.
I think sa mga nababasa ko dati, naging cliffhanger yung last na game ng franchise na yun. So, kung i-remake nila, malay nyo, patuloy yung
Merong, I think it was released on Steam. We have a Soul River on Steam back in 2012. Ito ko meron.
Last year?
Steam. 2012 pa nila.
2012 talaga? Soul River.
Legacy of Kain.
Legacy of Kain.
Legacy of Kain, yes. Ayan, meron siya sa Steam. Yes, so if you want to try that out, if in case gusto mo rin magka-remake.
Soul River nga. Wait, what?
Yes. Hindi alam na mismo gusto magka-remake.
kasi baka ito lang kasi yung port din. I think
port nga lang yun. I think port lang yan. Pero PC, so at least
kasi
wider
parang,
audience.
I think nung tinry ko, nakita ko ito dati, parang mas maganda yung itsura ng original pa. Mas sharp lang yung itsura pero parang weird yung textures ata ng sa Steam. I'm not sure.
Okay. Pero anyway, yun, if in case you also want to try out the game. So most of the titles na minention namin, you can play them. I think you can only play them now on emulators. Unless yung mga SNES title, unless Nintendo ports those SNES titles in their, Switch SNES platform. I've been waiting actually for them to release some of the games there. So, ayan. Okay, I think we have one more title from Puepo.
Last na lang.
Before we close.
Kung tanda niyo ba yung sinabi ko last time na sa top 5, ni number 1 ko ulit?
Di ba nga ba number 1 mo dun?
Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
So, Crash Bandicoot dito. CTR.
Racing. The Racing 1.
Yung kart. Mas na-try ko yung latest ng Mario Kart. I think 8 yun. Sa Switch. Tama ba? Mario Kart 8.
May Crash Team Racing, di ba? Na bago. 8 yung
Mario Kart 8. So, mas prefer ko pa rin yung syempre, mas modern na yung Mario Kart 8. Mas marami na nadagdag. Pero, gameplay-wise, yung feel niya, mas prefer ko yung sa PS1 ng CTR.
Iba ba yun sa Nitro Fuel na CTR?
May ng CTR.
Oo nga. Wait, oo nga. Yun pala yun. cut na natin
Cut!
to, guys. Wala na lang. Oo nga.
Galing.
Nalimutan ko. Yun nga pala yung reason kung bakit ko naalala siya. Kasi
Nitro
gusto
Fuel. Meron.
iniisip na namin gusto na namin magkano. Well, na-release na pala yun. Wait, ano yun?
Yes, 2018 or
Last
19.
year ata.
18.
Isang taon na
19,
siya.
oo.
Isang
19.
Ito nga pala yung weird na nilagyan nila ng microtransactions. Okay, naalala ko na. I'm dumb.
Okay.
Nilagay ko pa naman dito CTR.
Ayan, so alright, so I think
wala na.
that
GG
sums it
na.
up.
GG
So I'm
na, sir.
sorry, wala si Final Heaven is not with us, but I think
Rest in
I
peace.
could have we would have anticipated his list too. Most of it will be RPG. I think maybe some fighting games. I don't know if you know Tekken remakes are a thing, but if if Tekken remakes were a thing, I think you'd want Tekken remakes.
Unlikely Tekken
So,
remakes
what
ang gusto
other
niya.
games?
Unlikely.
But I think Suikoden is also one with what would be on his list. Chrono Trigger would be
Yeah,
on his list.
it's a classic, yeah.
Yeah.
RE4, possible na RE4.
Oh yeah. He's also a fan of RE. So anyway, we can speculate for you. Final Heaven, he's down there. I mean, his pictures
Down there.
Down there, no.
Pictures down there.
F's in the chat.
his picture is down. He's alive and well. I don't know what he's doing today, so he's not with us. But in memory of yes. So that's it. That's it from the Cindy Pads and the crew. So once again, thank you for watching. We will be back for our third episode next, not a week from now, but maybe on Sunday. So we will have a smaller time frame of news recaps when Sunday comes. So don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed our babbling. Please follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and also like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our channel if you want more from us, contents like these. All right. So if you have any comments, put them down there. And yeah, so that's it. So goodbye from the team. So only Kwepo and I would be able to wave goodbye to you guys. Bye-bye. So we have pictures of others. Hopefully we'll be a complete
Bye-bye.
batch. It'll be a complete batch on Sunday. Maybe we'll have a special guest. All right. See you next time.